Ooh, what a game! What a game! Where do I start with this one? I just got done watching Manchester United beat Arsenal at their home, 3-2. What an interesting game of football! This is what we love football for. This is why it builds you up and brings you down. Thankfully, I was on the better side today, watching my team beat the league leaders and the primary title contenders of this Premier League. What a game of football! Amazing. Manchester United just having their new head coach in Michael Carrick the second time around in his second game against Arsenal, just having the perfect strategy, tactics, and then having uh, the guts and the will and the sheer discipline to actually execute it. We played a great game, and so did Arsenal. Nothing to take away from their performance as well. It was what a game! It was twisting and turning. Arsenal scored first with a very typical goal, which is very typical of Arsenal to score and very typical for us to concede. And then we got back, uh, and then sort of tides started to turn, and you could see the fan base sort of getting jittery, right? Then our goal was to just get into halftime without conceding. So we came back with 1-1, and then Mr. Patrick Dogu, hats off to you, hats off to you. He's a player that I myself didn't rate that highly, of course, but oof, he proved me wrong. He proved everybody wrong, and I will gladly and very happily take the blame to not rate him as well. I saw some of his training videos. He's been training so hard, especially on what he's has done today. If you remember the goal that he took from a corner, sort of turning around, the goal the last time out where it was sheer matter of will, and today it is pure skill. That ball was just bouncing off, sort of also spinning a little, but he was able to sort of volley it very well. Hits the crossbar, bounces straight into the goal. Shatters the net. What a goal! What a goal to witness! And the 1-2 between Bruno and Togu for the folks that were, these Arsenal folks are two of my best friends are Arsenal fans. So no disrespect to Butts and Adboy, but the rest of the Arsenal fan base just seems to be extremely deluded. They peck Odegaard, and Bruno at the same level. Where was Odegaard today? I think he got subbed off at 60 minutes. Again, I don't mean anything personal against Odegaard or the players who are up and coming, but the amount of disrespect that Bruno gets, oof, he proved everybody wrong. I don't think today was his best game, far from it. But again, he had a beautiful game. He had a and credit to Michael Carrick, how he's rallied his troops, really forged an identity within probably just 10 days of being at the job. Kudos to him. This is Manchester United we're talking about, right? This is Manchester United, vintage Manchester United football, being compact, defending really well, dogged defending, but then breaking free where you can't stop us. And we saw that. And what it tells me is that it's not that we're a million miles away when it comes to quality of the players. The players are good. What we need is a lot more cohesion, a lot more belief, right? Which a Manchester United legend can bring back. Coming back to the game, we knew this tactics all along. All of us, we know that Arsenal were going to come out and try to attack, and United would have to really go into a very hostile environment. I still rate Emirates and St James's Park as one of the most difficult places to play against, because even as a fan watching it on TV, you can see how much the noise is, the crowd gets behind the players. You could see how difficult it would be, right? But United players executed their plan to a T. They did not give in to the temptation of pressing too high without fully committing to the press, and hence leaving those gaps between the defense, midfield, and the attack. But they were able to be a lot more compact. I thought sometimes the forward line was pressing, which was very worrying me a lot more. But credit to the forward line for the press, which invited the pressure on Zubimendi, and hence helped us with our first goal. But if we really discuss about the two goals, what blinders, and oof, I mean, Matthews Cunha, I think he's been performing well, but somehow his final output wasn't there quite as much as it should be. But today it was on point, absolutely on point. The confidence to take the ball, the comfort that he showed to have the ball at his feet, drive, and then really shoot past Raya. This is the first time that Arsenal have conceded 3 goals in years. This is almost been 3 years since Manchester United has been in the top four. So congratulations to us. Look how the turntables. It is Manchester United who's celebrating a fourth in the league, and it is Arsenal who are leading the title charge. But nonetheless, I think we'll be back at the summit very, very soon. If we, I think we have a lot of positives to take from this game, especially Carrick. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about Carrick and how he should be the permanent head coach going forward for next year as well. While I am certainly in the Carrick in camp, I would still want to see how Carrick performs and the team performs against low blocks, because traditionally speaking, even in the last decade where we've been extremely bad under Ole and under Mourinho, I think whenever we played this tactic, we've always won. It is the Burnleys and uh, you know uh, can you win a game at Stoke City, right? So whichever is the equivalent today, uh, you have to win those games, right? Where the teams are going to sit deep, let you have the ball. But again, not taking anything away from today's performance, uh, I think Arsenal was very jittery. If not the team, at least the crowd was. I've been watching a lot of Arsenal fans discuss about how they couldn't extend the lead the last time out, which gives me a lot of pleasure. It is my guilty pleasure. Please pardon me for it. But what a game! The Premier League race is wide open again. We are the ones who sort of increased the lead thanks to us beating Manchester City, but we're very, very even. We're very just about the way we do our business. We took 3 points away from Manchester City, and we did the same to Arsenal as well. So the title race is all yours. The lead now is just 4 points, and I think they play one game against each other. So there's 3 points, potentially a 6 pointer up for grabs, and the league goes on till May, and we're just in at the end of January. So a lot of games still to play. I think 16 odd games still to play, 15, 16 games to play, and it'll be a brilliant race. As for Manchester United, I think I'm very, very happy with a fourth position. If we could challenge Aston Villa for third, that would be great. But I think this is again sort of reaching too far and not giving Aston Villa the due credit that they deserve. I think they've been playing extremely well, while their performances and results do tail off during the latter end of the season. I think we shouldn't take away from their performance, their consistency, and what they've been able to do. Of course, absolutely relishing the fact that Liverpool also lost to a 94th minute winner from Bournemouth. So they lost 3-2 again, and that puts us comfortably in the top four for now. But the Premier League champion race is on. The top four race is still on. Chelsea also won today. I think the new manager is again inflicting some of his good methods in the team and getting some good results. I think again, Premier League. It's the gifts that it keeps on giving, or something like that. um, but it's an absolute pleasure. What a game! So many times you think about watching games and really committing that time, but today was completely worth it. But yes, what are my thoughts about the Premier League? I think Manchester City do have a way of always being relentless and really putting things in the top gear, or the last one, but one, if you really know about how engines work. I think they really put the pedal to the metal come the second half of the season, but they've not been able to do that quite as well. Pep Guardiola seems a little bit more frustrated, but we can't write City off. If I were to really take a call and take a guess at this point, I would say Arsenal would still nick it somehow. But if you were to ask me, I would genuinely want Aston Villa to win this league, because it would be really nice, almost like a Leicester City story. Uh, Probably not as romantic, but still pretty nice. If not, I would actually not mind if City actually won another league, because they've won so many. So this one wouldn't hurt as much, rather than having another powerhouse in the league to validate all the good efforts that Mikel Arteta has been putting in, which I would always do. But a trophy really signifies that, solidifies that, and then we would get all the hate and the banter from the Arsenal fans, which I think Arsenal fans and United fans would be at tied at the top for being delusional. I think at least Manchester United, uh, I think, still ride on the back of their sort of recent history. But Arsenal fans sometimes are just way uh, off the mark. But yeah, that being said, what an amazing game! Oh, what a beautiful! I was so jittery. I was so jittery. I was shaking my leg. I just couldn't watch. I was looking at the seconds and sort of counting them down towards 90 and 90 plus something. But it was an amazing game. Michael Carrick deserves all the credit. The next few games are going to be tough, because they're against traditionally a little more conservative and defensive teams. So I'd like to see how Michael Carrick does against those teams. Really, results are one thing, right? We've been getting these odd results over the last so many years, but what is amazing to me, and uh, what brings me the most joy, is how people are enjoying it, how the players are working together as a team. Absolutely a beautiful win. Loved it. I hope this continues, and we build from here. If I were to be a little more sort of aspirational, I think Manchester United could really go ahead and sort of challenge for the season after the next one, which is the season 28. I think they could really challenge and actually win it, if they make the right signings, if they make the right setups, and not shoot themselves in the foot, which we're always happy to do. But I think if we continue our good progress with a good manager, a little more consistency, a little more patience, I think we could really challenge and probably win the 2028 challenge title. But that would mean that we build a good squad, not just because we are also helped by not being in any other competitions. We were given to others, but we chose only to play a solitary game in both of those championships. So we are of course helped. So a lot of our depth of squad issues are being camouflaged. But we will need to build a good squad to actually challenge for the Premier League. Given that Manchester City aren't doing that well, Liverpool have their own issues, and so do Arsenal, which we saw today. They could implode. Their fan bases. The sort of pressure that is there on the club to actually win, because they've been in a position like this for the last 2 years, but somehow haven't made it all the way to the end. So we should actually capitalize on that, right? I think if you look back at the times where Jurgen Klopp versus Pep Guardiola, where they used to have 100 or 99, 98-point seasons, we certainly don't have that quality at the top anymore. So this is a very good chance for Manchester United to capitalize on. Again, let's keep the momentum going. Let's not get carried away, as well as I probably am, but man can dream. That's it from my side. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you again the next time. Glory, glory, Man United.